Hi guys, this is Emily Copelli, and for today's card I'll be using the Pretty Little Peonies stamp set from Wplus9. I will also use its coordinating dies. I already die cut the flowers and leaves I want to use and match them to their stamps. Then I'm going to take my first flower and align it to its coordinating die cut. I will take the stamp with my acrylic block and stamp it with my Blossoms Berry pure color ink from Wplus9. Now I will stamp the flowers I want in my Lake House pure color ink. Since the stamps are clear and so whimsical, they are very easy to align. As you can see, I am stamping all the elements I want in the same color before going to my next color. For the leaves, I am using the Mojito Pure Color ink. The Pure Color ink stamps pretty splotchy at first, but it smooths out a lot once it's dry. Now I will stamp the jar in the Love Jar stamp set from Hero Arts. I will prepare a light blue piece of cardstock from American Craft with my powder bag and stamp the jar using my Versamark. I will add to it some embossing powder in clear gloss from Wow and heat emboss it with my heat gun. Then I'll go ahead and fussy cut it. Here I have 2 squares of craft cardstock that measure 5.5 inches. I will score only one of them at 3/4 of an inch. I will crease it very well and add some adhesive to it. Now I will stick both pieces together. This will be my card base. I am going to round the right corners with my 1/2 inch round corner punch from Fiskars. Now I will cut one of the pages from my Man's Eye wood paper pad to a 1/2 inch square as well and round its right corners too. I will stick it to the front of the card base I created. Then I'm going to use the Thank You from the Oh Happy Day stamp set from Avery Elle, which has a gorgeous font, on some vellum paper using my Versamark. As you saw, I already prepared my vellum paper for some heat embossing using my powder bag. Now I will add some white embossing powder from Hero Arts. And finally, I will heat emboss it with my heat gun. I will cut it into a strip of paper using my paper trimmer from Fiskars. Once the first layer of my flowers is completely dry, I will stamp over them the second layer corresponding to each flower, using the same ink pad I used for the first layer. I stamped this layer the next day, but probably you do not have to wait that long. Also, you can simply dry it with your heat gun. Anyway, if you stamp it before it is 100% dry, it will smooth out as if it were part of the first layer, and it will be less noticeable. Because I am using the same color of ink, it is already pretty subtle, so I want to get as much contrast as possible, which is why I wanted to be sure the first layer were completely dry. Now I will start to glue my pieces together to reduce the amount of components I am working with. I am using my liquid glue, but you can use any adhesive you prefer. I started gluing the leaves and the flower I already know I want together. I am going to cut the upper part of my jar to make the flowers look like they were inside of it. Then I will finish gluing the flowers and leaves to the jar, arranging them any way I think they look good and kind of symmetrical. I will continue gluing my components together until I have them all in place. For the jar, I got inspired by this page from the Dear Lizzie collection. I started gluing a piece of craft cardstock to the jar. For this, I am using my runner adhesive. Now I will glue a piece of crochet ribbon to it. To secure it in place, I am using both tape and my multi-medium mat. I am using a piece of scrap to apply the glue to the ribbon. Then I will take a piece of dark brown hemp cord from Daris in 20 pounds and I will stick it to the jar. Again, I'm using tape and glue. I add the tape to the corners of the cord, which will be covered, and the glue to the front to make sure it stays in place. Now I will tie another piece of cord to the cord I already have on the jar and tie it into a bow. For me, this was the easiest way to tie a bow to the jar. Then I will add adhesive to the part of the balloon that is going to be hid behind the jar. I will be gluing some doilies from Daris using tiny dots of multi-medium mat. But probably you could have used only the runner adhesive because the glue is more noticeable than I would like. I will use my scissors to cut the excess of the doily and glue another doily to the opposite corner of the card. I will use tiny dots of glue behind the sentiment to stick the rest of the balloon to the card. To stick the flower arrangements to the card, I will use foam tape. Finally, I will add some details with my liquid pearls in white opal. I am adding it to the center of the flowers and also will add it near to the sentiment. And my card is finished. Here you can see all the dimension it has. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed yet. Remember to visit my blog to see the full list of supplies and more close-up pictures. Thank you so much for watching. Here are 3 more videos for you to watch. In the first one, I used the same stamp set I used today to make a love card. The second one is another thank you card where I show you how I used a succulent stamp set from Longfont as a lotus flower and a coffee cup as a flower pot. And finally, in the third one, I made another thank you card using some flower dies. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!